And now for our feature presentation.
This is great because on the back it actually says this film is also known as
the I'll Watch It Later podcast.
You never heard of that film?
And now, on with the show.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to I'll Watch It Later podcast, the podcast where we lie about the movies we've seen to impress our friends. As always, I'm Aaron, with a D, I guess.
You heard it this time?
Well, I
hope you
I had the stuffy nose part right there. I'm
for
Aaron.
an entire year of shows.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. I'm Jordan. He usually introduces me. But
I was about to. Join with me always is my best friend Jordan.
Oh, hi, guys.
And this guy, producer, best friend, brother-in-law.
The producer, the show where we lie about our energy.
I'm not low energy. You guys are low energy. That's Scott.
Hi, guys.
I'm here.
Yeah. All right. So if you listened last week,
I'm sorry.
no, it was good. You just got to get to the first.
Could you ramp
15.
the energy up a little bit?
Yeah, can I get the energy here? Let me turn it up.
You need to
turn it up
to
to about a 6.
I was gonna say 6, maybe 7.
If you listened last week, the first
God bless you.
15 minutes are rough, but I thought that was one of our best shows ever. That was our road show. We did the road show from Los Angeles the next day. I had all the poops. I had so many poops.
That's right. You guys don't really get to hear the aftermath of that show
Yeah.
because
Jordan
we
was
did
like,
the
"You're not
pinkies.
allowed to use the bathroom."
Never
here."
once said that.
You did.
No,
And
I said
then-
Scott doesn't need to shit up the bathroom before we get on the road to L.A. so it just lingers and we walk back into it when we come home. So no, that's not.
The funny
what I
part
said
was
at all.
Aaron telling me the other night. He was like, "I really had to go in the middle of the night, but I couldn't because you were sleeping in front of the door."
That is why I was like, and you had already said I wasn't allowed to use the bathroom.
Never once.
So I'm sitting there
Going on the record.
just dying.
No, and then we made Aaron leave the room to the bathroom. Like the room that
By
I
the
had got
pool
was
house.
like
Oh, wait.
literally adjacent to the
So
pool.
you admit you made me leave the
No,
room?
no.
Oh.
You left the room, and there was a bathroom at the pool area, and the pool area had what? A nice family of 37 out there having a quinceañera, apparently.
Having
and,
their 80s jam.
I don't care, man.
And,
I destroyed it multiple times.
Yeah, so he was out there a number of times.
Then they
that's-
proceeded to be like, well, this guy's been over here numerous times. We're shutting the water
I'm
off.
glad we I forgot about that.
Well, no, I could flush. They just wouldn't let me wash my hands, so I had to come back to the room and wash my hands.
Like jump in the pool.
Yeah. And then we proceeded to go to our hotel room where I shitted that one up. Then
Well, we
had-
did breakfast first,
Yeah.
which,
Truck
at
stop.
one point you were sitting there really legitimately contemplating just getting like yogurt and oatmeal because you were just, I can't have spice or flavor or anything. It's going to kill the insides.
But we went to the truck stop because
We
it
did.
fucks. And yeah.
That's what I hear.
And,
I think we even told,
heard that multiple
we told the
times.
waitress that at one
yeah,
point.
we're like, this place fucks.
Like, we heard this place fucks.
she's like,
"We're
"Please
I'm
stop
from
talking to
Tucson.
me."
Please
Yeah.
stop talking to me.
She was about, I don't know, what was she?
12?
Early 20s, and
If-
she just
if
looked at
that.
Aaron like, I don't know what you're fucking talking about.
Right.
It took me a minute.
Which is
Like
probably the correct response.
I honestly, until about midweek, I kept thinking about how did she know we were from fucking Arizona? Until I realized your
Cardinals
debit card has a
card.
Cardinals card, and I'm sitting there going, mine doesn't have anything. We didn't show ID. How the fuck? What kind of wizardry was this? And then it just finally dawned on me. I'm like, okay,
It's because I told her it fucks. And she's like, oh, that's only Arizona people.
fucking Mesa trash right there.
I find one phrase and then I just keep going with it.
The autism.
The autistic bit.
That's what Kim calls it, actually.
But no, that was no. It was really good. I was really prepared to shit on Truck Stop just because you had made such a big deal out of it, and
Yeah, I feel like that's
it was
your
good.
MO.
No,
You're
it's
like,
not.
It's something you like.
Aaron loves this. It's gotta suck.
Yeah.
No, you're hit and miss. I don't love everything that you love. I don't hate everything you love. I mean, it's one of those things. And I think Walk-Ons is trash, but I thought the Truck Stop was fucking great. So
I mean,
that was pretty good.
you're constantly wrong. But it is what it is. Okay, so it's been a week. Have you watched anything, Scott?
Nope. I had all kinds of plans to watch all kinds of things, and it just never happened.
What were you going to watch?
I wanted to watch Elvis.
Yeah, me too.
Oh,
I
Actually,
was going to watch that. But
I went
by-
to watch it last night
Yeah.
and saw that after we got back.
It's like 2
2 hours and 39
yeah.
minutes, and I said, Thanks, but no thanks.
When you had said that, I was thinking of watching Elvis. I was thinking about the runtime. I'm like, he's not going to watch it.
I-
That's why I told you
saw
to watch the other movie, because it was like a lean, like 87 minutes.
Yeah,
like,
no, I didn't watch it.
It was hard enough to get the movie in for the week because I sat there and was like, okay, I probably need to watch this right now.
We get it. You're so
because
scary
I'm
busy going to the
going
gym.
to like have something else happen, and then I'm
Oh,
not
it's
going to
fun.
want to watch anything. No, it's just I don't like getting later into the evening and trying to put a movie on at like
That's
10 o'clock at night
the
because it
best
just
time.
is not going to happen. I can't
You need
give
to
my
make it happen.
all.
You're on
I
a
can't
movie
give my all.
podcast.
all right, we got to watch Colors. I'm going to pop this edible.
But
in.
see, that's why I still hold fact to that I'm the average guy, so
The
I don't
average
have to
person
watch fucking
watches
movies.
movies during the
No,
week.
they
I
watch
did.
it at like 6 p.m. during
before
dinner.
bedtime.
Yes, normal.
Ugh, you're annoying.
We don't go to 9:30, 10 o'clock showings to watch cartoons.
It's a Friday night. Most people are out.
And we weren't the only ones, so that's why I feel
Yeah.
better about it.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
There was actually a good amount of people in that movie, and
for being 9:05,
there was a guy behind us that was like really into, like,
freaking the.
what the fuck is he not doing that for? Oh, what? That's awesome.
I
was
know.
like, we
I
were
was
with some
actually-
Uber fans.
I
I'm
was
not gonna
happy
lie.
about that. We went and saw Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball Super Superhero last night for all you nerds out there. I highly loved it. I caught Jordan sleeping multiple times, but
There
it
was
is
a
what
few
it
moments.
is. It was.
Some
It is what it
long
is.
blinks.
I appreciate you going with me, regardless.
To be fair, it wasn't the content that bored me. I was up at like 5:45 that morning.
Was it
and
the
I
fact
just-
that you went to a late movie?
No, I like late movies. Like, I don't like crowds anymore. I even told Aaron the movie going experience would be great if it wasn't for all the people. Like,
Yeah.
we were. It was an
I
experience
feel like
last
that's
night.
anything.
Well, here's the
I'm at
thing.
that point in my life where that's everything.
I want to be by myself in a fucking cabin just
Yes.
with internet, and that's it.
like Tom Green. I want to be Tom Green. I'm actually jealous of Tom Green.
Well,
He's
it-
like, I'm off grid and I
Right.
don't deal with people
Oh,
anymore.
I want some grid. I just don't want to be around people. Like, give me a good power source and a high internet content, but I don't
and
want.
a good Applebee's down the road.
I need an Applebee's.
Gross.
Because when you're here, wait, no, that's Olive Garden.
Which I like, and everybody else about that hates.
I just think it's funny because every now and then you'll text us, "Hey, I'm at the Olive Garden by myself at the bar eating like the Taste of Italy."
That happened once. No, I get the soup salad and breadsticks, and I get the zupta soup.
Zuba Discata.
Yeah,
or
but
whatever.
nobody likes to go with me, so I'm just like,
It's
whatever.
literally the scene from like
Such
Dumb and Dumber
trash.
where he's sitting at the thing. The barkeep's like, "Hey man, what do you got? Having problems?"
I like
He's
that you
"Yeah,
actually
man."
grabbed a rag.
It's the visual.
This is an audio
It's the visual.
medium. Yeah. No, he used to. So every single restaurant I've ever been to in like the last 5 years has gotten rid of my favorite dish because I'm a very simple creature. If I go to a restaurant, there's only one thing I order. I don't explore the menu or anything.
Riblet basket.
If I go to Applebee's, I get the
Aaron's
riblet
like, "You don't
basket.
understand. In my world, this is the most popular dish on the face of the planet.
If,
How could you get rid of this?"
If I go to like Rigatoni's, I get this like shrimp, angel hair pasta cream deliciousness. They got rid of it. Fucking Olive Garden got rid of my fucking portobello raviolis. I just it's no point in going out to eat anymore. It just
I'm
sucks.
sure you could find portobello raviolis because I'm sure whatever frozen company they get it from, you can find.
Don't act like you
Well, it's not
haven't
Cintas because they do all the towels and the uniforms. So I don't know.
don't act like you haven't gone to Olive Garden with me.
I have,
Okay,
but I'm just
then.
saying is I know that Olive Garden is probably 90% frozen meals.
Oh,
Fine.
sure. For sure.
It's a very expensive. That's why I would
Very
never I
authentic
would never,
Mexican cooked
I would-
meals in the back.
I would never buy the tour of Italy because it's too expensive for all the frozen crap.
classically
You just-
trained.
You just get the soup or you get the ravioli.
It's true.
You spend $14 and you move on with your life
Mr. George, you want the taste of Italy?
Oh, okay.
because it's a Mexican. Dish.
Yeah.
You want salsa? No. Why would I want salsa on it? Anyways,
To Reba's next door.
so yeah, we saw Dragon Ball Z Super or Dragon Ball Super. I keep saying that because I'm so used to saying Dragon Ball Z, but it was a soft spot for me because I grew up watching. You know, I had a tattoo of Vegeta when I was 18. It was terrible. I got it covered up.
Pronounced vagina.
Yeah, and you know they keep
Vegeta's
coming out.
steak?
They keep putting these movies out. And when I first fell in love with that stuff, I was like 12, and now I'm almost 40. So it's like
You're
I
still in love
cried
with
a
it.
little last night.
There's no problem with
cool.
that. Like I said, I was falling asleep last night just a little bit, not because of the content. I actually thought the movie was fun. Like, it was really cool. Like, the animation style was actually really, like, kind of pretty. Like, just the way they did it. Like, it was almost like a fusion of hand-drawn and digital where you get, like, those weird pans and zooms and stuff like that you would get from, like, a, computer-generated movie.
So I
But,
did look it
you know,
up. They did a video game style thing.
Okay.
That was a whole thing. So it was like a 3D images,
Right.
like the way they create video game cutscenes. So I was like, that makes a lot of sense because the first thing I said is this looks like a video game.
Oh,
cutscene.
yeah.
So,
But no, it was fun. I think what helped with this movie, and from what you tell me, it happens a lot. The first probably 15 minutes was, hey, guess what? This is everything that happened for the last 25 years in 15 minutes. And
So
to
you
be
would've
honest
been
with you, it was
fine.
so condensed that
Would I have been?
you would have fallen asleep with me. Over there napping.
Yeah, on Jordan's
Head
shoulder.
on shoulders.
Just drooling down his chest.
But no, I thought it was fun. Like, I think it was a really fun movie. My kid loves playing Fortnite, and they've got this big Dragon Ball
kids?
Z. Yes, I got a couple.
Never bring them up.
Yeah, at least 3, but one of them I don't talk about. We do. They have the Dragon Ball Z tie-in with Fortnite, and it's kind of neat because you can explore some of the thing. And after seeing the movie last night, like I'm running around. I was like, oh, that's Capsule Corporation. I know exactly. Bulma's in there, and her tight ass, and like all this shit, and like it was neat, kind of having
If
some
you would have said
reference
that
now.
many years ago, you would have been a pedophile, but she's old enough now. So.
Oh, okay, good. Well, whew. Yeah, now she's like in her 40s and wishing, liposuction from a dragon. That was fucking weird.
In her
but hilarious.
40s, going to the gym 3 times a week.
No, I found out though, like
Please
I'm watching this
keep
movie.
talking about it.
I'm watching this movie, and like I know the character names. Like I was, joking around with you at the beginning, but like I do know names, and I don't really know a lot of the history. I fucking dig Beerus. Like that dude is fucking hilarious. Like it's
He's new. Like he's newer to
newer.
this
Okay,
series, but yeah,
I'm
he's-
digging that giant
he's
fucking
the
Egyptian
god
cat
of
asshole.
God of Destruction. There's a whole movie based around him. You should watch it.
I'll watch
It's
it.
good times actually.
I will. I'll watch it later.
Yep. Way
Let's
later.
pick it for the movie.
Credits roll.
Hey, 2 of you haven't seen it, so we can pick it for the show.
It's gonna be next year's
week.
animation month.
Please pick that.
Pick what?
Dragon Ball Z
Oh,
Battle
okay.
of the Gods.
I zoned out for a second.
No one cares that you're not into it. You're weird.
But
Anyways,
yes,
what else did you watch?
Let's see. I watched Day Shift with Jamie Foxx on
also
Netflix.
watched
Just
that.
came out Friday. I think I watched it Well, no, did it come out Friday? Or?
I think it came out the Friday we were gone.
Oh, okay. So it came out the Friday we left. I ended up catching it. I was going to wonder. I was like watching on Thursday. That's a fun fucking movie. Like, I was very surprised. A lot of these, go into Netflix movies are very hit and miss. I mean, especially a lot of these Hemsworth movies that they decide to just throw out there. But this was fun. Like, this was a fun little take on a normal vampire movie. There wasn't a lot of heavy plot to go through. Like, it really was so light on the plot. I mean, the idea is that Jamie Foxx is a vampire hunter. His family, who he's estranged from his wife, they're, not together. And he's doing the whole single dad thing, but dealing with the fact that he's a vampire hunter for and then his family doesn't know about it, so that's why he was keeping secrets, and they're getting divorced. He's hunting vampires, pulling their teeth, and you sell their teeth to these pawnbrokers or whatever. But there's also like a union of vampire hunters that you get paid more. It's it's weird. It is so weird, but it works because it's kind of funny because this union, I swear to God,
full on benefits, retirement.
yeah, they do. They talk about it. They have a union rep,
So
which
it's like
is
a total pro union movie.
fucking way
That's-
pro union
that's
because
funny.
you're gonna get the better benefits. At one point, they run into 2 random like Russian vampire hunters. Like it's a really
They're not
just
really Russian.
no, they're not bad. But that scene was fucking great. But like they kind of expand on kind of like vampire mythos where there's like different factions of vampires and types of vampires. You got like
Vampire gangs.
the young, kinda, where you got the younger vampires who are more like zombies. They can't really process human blood, so they're eating animals, and they're just like they're half dead but not quite alive. And then you
Twilight told me that those were just good vampires.
the fucking Twilight. Yeah, they're vegetarians.
I'm joking. Yeah.
That explains all the sparkling. And then they have like these what they call spider vampires, which everyone in the movie was played by a contortionist from like Cirque du Soleil or something, and they were doing some weird non-CGI shit where they were bending over backwards and twisting weird. It's a fun movie just to zone out and just enjoy something cool.
I thought it
another
was
one on the
better
list.
than Bright,
Yes, very
which
much.
I compared it to heavily because it was almost the same type
'cause
of
he's black?
thing. No,
Yeah.
it was the same type of like I have to stop this because this reason, same shit. But
Yeah, but even then, like the plot really, you could cut the reasoning of why the vampires were doing what they were doing out, and it's the movie still just Jamie Foxx is trying to get enough money in this weekend to stop his wife from selling the house
like
and
Liar,
taking
Liar.
the kids. Exactly. The pen is blue. The vampire's fucking dead. Like it was just one of those.
Yeah,
take that out and
I
you're
didn't,
still fine.
I didn't think it was a good movie whatsoever, but I had a lot of fun with it.
It's fun.
So I would watch it again because it's like so predictable, easy dialogue.
Oh, for sure. Snoop is in it.
Yeah,
Jamie
Snoop Dogg's in
Foxx.
Snoop a loop.
His little green hat.
I think he has cereal.
He does.
Snoop Loops.
Snoop Loops
That
or
says
something.
course he does.
more marshmallows than Fruit Loops.
I don't know. Apparently, everybody just says they taste like Fruit Loops. But if we can find them, we'll go for the
he,
show.
He says
Oh,
he
part of
lit-
our rap snacks
he literally
episode.
said that they have more marshmallows than Fruit Loops, which is hilarious because Fruit Loops don't have marshmallows.
I think they actually put out a box
limited
of limited
edition
edition of ones with
That
marshmallows
did have
now.
at one
It's like,
point,
fuck.
but it's
okay.
not like a staple. Like
I mean, at some point, you're just putting marshmallows in everything.
Yeah.
That's just throw it in there.
Do we not like marshmallows?
I just think that they overdo it.
I
love.
I like cereal
Lucky Charms.
marshmallows. Yes, like the
'Cause
little
they're
hard
crunchy and-
melt in your mouth marshmallows. I do like that. I don't like big puffy marshmallows, regular marshmallows,
Yeah.
because I think they just get too sickening.
especially
You know
watermelon
what Scott
ones.
said he would do with me tonight? Go
Uh-oh.
eat ramen noodles,
Oh,
which I'm really
He's-
excited
he's a good
about.
friend.
Yeah.
All right.
Unlike you, who's
What a-
like, I'm like,
what
hey
a
man, do
dick.
you want to get food? And you're like, no. And then I'm like, okay. And then you're like, I got backyard taco. I'm like, oh, okay.
no, I never said I didn't want to get food. We had a weekend of hot dog eating. That's the last place I wanted to eat, and
Doghouse is better than all the hot dogs that
I
you
don't
ate last
fucking
weekend.
care. I don't care. It's a hot dog.
You could have got a burger.
Bullshit. And then
Is it better than Onello Canellos or whatever? that place is?
Yes.
yes, probably.
Well, Canals.
Well,
And then just something about eating like hot soup or ramen like during the summer in Arizona really kind of just weirds me out. I try to avoid it as much as I humanly possibly
see, at least
can.
ramen, there's some substance in it. There's
Yeah.
noodles, there's meats and stuff. It's like when people try to get me to go eat like pho, and I'm like, dude, it's just fucking hot broth.
I'm just
like a
eating
kid.
steak in
It's
it.
180
Like,
degrees
there's
out.
like
it's
two pieces
broth night.
floating in the fucking middle
we
of
could
it.
go to Olive Garden tonight.
Oh,
Go to Olive Garden and talk
Shit.
to the bartender about how terrible our lives are.
hey, we have a
Only
friend.
if I
Jordan's an
can eat
asshole. He didn't
soup.
want to
Hey.
come with us.
We have a podcast. You should listen.
It's great. But yes, I watched. What was it? Day Shift. What else did I watch? I watched Trick or Treat early on this week because I love Halloween movies and I'm gearing up for that whole bit.
It's too warm right now for me to get into.
I'm gearing up for Halloween.
I love watching
in
horror
August.
movies and I just want to watch a bunch of stuff.
Whatever.
Well, come on.
Starbucks.
Well,
I'm
last
into
week
it,
I had
yeah.
pumpkin spice donuts at Krispy Kreme with Emery. It was
Those
great.
were disgusting.
Really?
I bought them. I bought all varieties.
There was 4, yeah.
Tried them all. Mm-mm.
You didn't like them?
Buckle
Not
up,
one.
partner, because all the pumpkin's coming.
I can't wait.
because I could see the pumpkin latte one that you not liking because it's got that coffee flavor
I'm not
to it.
even. I'm not even worried about. I don't remember the coffee one, but So the first one I tried was like the original glazed pumpkin.
It was okay.
It was.
Wasn't
I
like
was
life changing for me, and I love pumpkin spice.
And I was like, I could just eat a million regular glazed ones. These are nothing. Then there's that one that had like the cream juice on top.
was it the it was cheesecake filled.
Is that what it was?
Is that the one? Well,
I
no,
don't
there was
know.
one that
it was
had
on top.
Yeah, there was one with the white jizz and the brown jizz on top.
Yes.
That was the latte.
Yeah, that sucked.
Well, because it's coffee.
Then there
flavored.
was like a cake one that was glazed.
Cake one was okay, and
Negative.
the one I liked was the cheesecake flavored. The one with
Also
the filling.
terrible.
Yeah,
'cause
I liked
it was
it.
just too much.
Well, it was a lot. Yeah, definitely. And I shared that one with Emery. I was like, I can't eat a whole fucking. And they're not big either. Like, and they're just so much sugar.
So then yesterday we went to fucking Dunkin' Donuts, and I said I would like a pumpkin spice cold brew because it's that time of the year.
They're like, pump your brakes, fool.
They're like, we're out of coffee.
What?
What time of the
Yeah.
day was this?
This was 9:00 in the morning.
Oh,
We can.
prime coffee time.
The one on Crisman.
Yeah, which is the
Boom.
one that
Exactly.
sucked.
Hey,
The fact that you know that off the top of your
if
head.
anybody listens to this show that works
Nobody.
at Dunkin' Donuts, the fucking Dunkin' Donuts on Crisman sucks ass.
I'm gonna actually call
I've
them and say,
never
listen to
had
this
a
episode.
good experience at that Dunkin' Donuts, and I'm a patron of Dunkin'
So,
Donuts
he is
across
a-
the valley.
Kim
That's true.
mobile ordered. She mobile ordered, and I get there, and the guy's like, first off, guy has so many pimples on his face, and I just want to pop him. And I'm like, you are a disgusting freak, but whatever. He's like,
He's like, hey, did you see Dragon Ball last night?
and I said, no, sir, I'm going to see it tonight. Please pop your pimples. And he,
See you there.
he,
Bring my fajitas.
anyways, he goes, hey, I see you ordered the pumpkin cream cold brew, and I said, yes. And he's like, we're out of cold brew.
Joke's on you. Fool.
And I said, what? And he goes, we're out of cold brew, but I can substitute it with whole bean. And I was like,
Hot piping coffee.
I looked at him and I was like, okay. So he made me a pumpkin spice latte with
regular
the foam in it.
The
yeah.
cold foam.
Yeah. And I was like, this is terrible.
Like, you need to at least make it like iced.
It was iced.
Oh,
It just
okay.
wasn't good. Then Kim got the PSL from Dunkin', and they were like, oh, we had to use this other type of like espresso because we're out of coffee. I don't know. They seemed to like Frankenstein the shit, and she was like, this tastes like watered down potpourri.
I replaced your donut
And I was
with a
like,
bagel and spread sugar on
So
it. Good luck, everybody.
I'm standing there waiting for it, and he brings me the half dozen donuts, which I still have, and they look like the saddest donuts of all time.
That's a Dunkin'.
And then I'm waiting for the munchkins for my munchkin, because I also have kids that I
you have
like
a
to
kid.
talk about every episode. And I'm like just standing there, and finally Big Bertha comes over to me, and she's like, what are you waiting for? You've been standing here a while. And I said,
Is that how it went?
the rest of my, that's what she said to me.
Wow.
And I showed her the ticket, and I said, I'm just waiting on the munchkins. And she goes, why didn't you say something? That's what she said. I go,
Because it's your job to
I'm
fucking
like,
serve me.
I just thought you guys were busy.
Because here's the thing, and this is no slight to you. This is just my experience. Sometimes your stories seem fantastical, like
Right.
you're exaggerating what they do. And then we have moments last night when we went to the movie theater.
Right.
And-
so you understand
So-
that it does happen all the time.
I don't know if it's all the time, but the moments I get to witness are great. We walk up,
My
and he's
story-
got a digital ticket on his phone to get into the our Kid Toucher movie, and I have my regular ticket. He walks up to this kid who's got a speech impediment. That's good for you. Great
guy
to have
who
a
works at
job.
Dunkin'.
But
No,
he's
this
sitting
is,
there comfy on his chair, not really working, and he hands him his phone. And the kid looks down at his phone, and he's like, I can't scan that. And no explanation, just fucking
Screams
goes,
at me.
screams at, like, legit. Like, I feel,
Scratched.
and it was like, I don't know if it's, I don't know if it's because it was loud in the theater or whatever.
It
but this
wasn't.
kid straight up was like, I can't scan that.
And I
And
looked,
then Aaron's like, wait, what do you mean? This is my ticket. No, it's not. Okay. Well, this is the only thing.
no explanation.
And then he goes, no, that's your rewards barcode. And then we're like, okay, dude. And then Aaron's like, well, what the fuck? So I was
So
like,
was it your rewards barcode?
It was.
So he fucking schooled
but see,
you.
here's the thing.
No. It
Yes,
showed my
But
ticket.
you see, here's the thing. Yes, it was his barcode, and I helped him out, and I scrolled down, and I was like, this is where your ticket is, and he scanned it. But it does not justify the fucking vitriol this kid spit in his
Dude,
face.
it was
So
crazy.
Aaron met Aaron at the movie
I'm
theater.
not gonna lie. I'm sitting there waiting through this interaction, just waiting for him to flip out.
And
on
I
this
wanted
kid.
to so
and you could
bad.
see it in his face, like the frustration scrolling that was about to happen. So I grabbed his phone. I was like, "Here you go," and then we went on our way. And then
I gave him a thumbs up because I was so close to telling that kid what I thought of him.
But
I'm
see-
glad you were there to diffuse that situation because Aaron needs that counterbalance
Every
when
now
he's
and
out,
then.
when he's out in public. He needs someone that is going to be like, "Listen, man,
it's like pouring water on a flame.
yeah,
just
take a breath,
temper that down.
take a breath, and
My
stop."
problem-
But see, when you tell a story about your Dunkin' Donuts, I'm sitting there going, "What she said sounds fantastical," but then again, I've
swear,
seen it
I'm
happen.
not making up anything. All my stories are 100% true. I do not exaggerate in any way. When that kid did that, it wasn't the point that he couldn't scan it. It was the point that at the top of the screen you could clearly see my ticket with what seat I had and everything, and he was just like, figure it the fuck out.
Yeah, I mean, it was
And-
like middle fingers to the sky. Go do your own thing. Get out of line. I have other people to help.
Yeah.
Like, and there was no one behind.
us.
It was just one of those things where it's like,
I would have gone to the movies if I know that was going to happen. I would have just gone for that.
But it-
knowing Aaron, though, you should assume that's going to happen every time we go anywhere. Why are you just not going with it? I mean,
I don't get
it seems
either.
like every interaction
People
there's
just
something.
look at me and they're like, it's time to treat this guy like crap.
Oh, this guy.
So
he
yeah,
looks like a dick.
The Dunkin' Donuts lady was like, why didn't you say something? And I'm like,
Didn't know it was my job.
I was just like, it's a mobile order. I don't know what you got, I didn't have anything to say. I've been trying to not come back as the asshole, but it's been very difficult. And
Good for you.
She hands me like the munchkins in just like a fucking sack. And I'm like, this is
We ran out of munchkins, so I took a hole punch out of these jelly donuts and just pulled them in
pretty
the
much
middle.
what it felt
We're
like.
out of boxes.
So I left. And I did ask for
Handfuls of
I asked
donuts.
for a cup holder, and she's like,
Just like, hold out your hand,
ain't
sir.
got it. So I told Kim the same thing. The Chrisman Dunkin' Donuts are just
Oh,
the
it's
worst.
horrible.
The
Close
worst.
your doors.
Chrisman.
Hey, just
Street in
a
Arizona. They
couple
suck.
programming notes. We're gonna pick what's his face's movie.
His
today?
name is Scott.
Yeah, Scott.
I'm like,
Someone standing behind
And
you.
then we got
It's our guest.
a fucking epic snack show, and I just
We really
wanted
do
to
have a lot.
reiterate something. I know that everybody and their mother has seen the Dream World Coke, but we have literally waited for this actor to try it. It's everywhere.
I even had an opportunity last week to try it, and I let Emery do it, and I was like, I can't.
Yeah.
For the integrity of the show, I'm not going to touch it. I smelled it.
Yeah,
that was it.
I know it's everywhere. I know people are asking me about it, like, "Oh, have you tried it?" And I'm like, "No, I haven't tried it." In fact, everyone I think who listens to the show has been like, "Have you tried it?" Okay, I tried it. This is what I think. So no, we're waiting to do it on air. Like, whatever. That's just the way we are. I know we could just technically drink it now, but we have a regular one and a zero flavored one, and we're gonna try it in 2 weeks.
Because you come here to hear what we think about it.
Or you don't. I don't care. It just seems like the right thing to do.
I like the experience of doing it on mic, so when it's really disgusting, it shows at first, instead of me having to fake how good it was or bad it was later on. So
yeah.
Anyway, we talked about movies.
Is that it? Is that all you saw?
No, I watched. So I watched Trick or Treat. I watched Day Shift. I watched Glorious on Shudder. It is a very fun, lean, 87-minute horror movie. About a man who is going through some personal life traumas, gets really drunk at a rest stop, and then goes into the bathroom to throw up the next morning, and gets kind of locked in a bathroom at a rest stop with a glory hole in one of the stalls.
Was somebody laying in front of the door with a mattress?
No. Gross.
Sounds like Aaron's road trip.
I can't shit. Turd left. And inside the other stall where the glory hole is a god, like a Cthulhu-like god, voiced by J.K. Simmons. And he basically tells the guy, look, you can help me out. You can save the world. There's things going on. I need you to do something. I need you to satisfy my corporeal form to
I need you to put
save
your
the world.
wiener in this hole.
Anyway, I think this movie was fun. I think it is good that it was this short. I don't think the story could last being a 90-minute, 2-hour movie like most of these are now. I think it was well done for what it was. It's bloody where it needs to be bloody. It's J.K. Simmons, like, as much as I feel like he's the new Sam Jackson where he's always in something, like, you just can't turn around and not have J.K. Simmons in it anymore. He was great as just the voice of this god, and he was just so deadpan about it, real kind. But then, like, when he gets angry, you felt it. Like, it's really such a fun movie to watch. I'm glad I got to watch it. I'm glad I did it before this show because, like, I want people to check this out. It's on Shudder. It's a Shudder exclusive.
It's directed by Rebecca McKendry, which I will say friends loosely because it's not like we know them, but our friends over at Color of the Dark, which is a really, really good podcast.
I love that podcast. Thank you for pushing me.
And that was, and it's with Elric Kane, who is like my fucking god right now. Everything he says. In fact, most of the stuff I pick for the show, I get from him. It's stuff I haven't seen, but just incredibly good. What? He's a filmmaker. What?
You just said most stuff you picked for the show.
Yeah, because I want to watch it, and I know you guys haven't seen it. Now, I have fallen deep down the video archives with Robert Avery and Tarantino, and there's like 90 things I want to watch with you guys now. So, like Moonraker. Have you seen Moonraker?
The James Bond movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Is that the one with Jaws in it?
There's multiple with Jaws in it. So.
No, there's not. There's one.
Oh, bet me. Bet me right fucking now. Bet me.
No.
You're not kidding. You are super wrong. You are super fucking wrong.
Man, so angry.
Oh.
Yeah,
It's sad. You guys just yell at each other. I go right for the fucking audio controls because I'm like,
Right.
oh, I got to clip that.
Like, I gotta turn that down.
No. Yeah, well, it's just stuff like that. Like The Keep. I've never seen The Keep. Have you seen The Keep?
I know the poster. I don't think I've seen
Michael Mann film.
Yeah,
Apparently
I
it's really
don't
good.
think I've
It's
seen
like
it.
Castle Wolfenstein, the movie, apparently.
That's what I hear.
But I heard it's not very good.
Well,
From multiple people, not just that podcast.
I mean,
Hey, you've seen this movie? Hey, it's not good at
we've
all.
seen Body Snatchers. Trust me, we're okay with not good movies.
I thought I had watched something. I watched another anime movie yesterday, but whatever. I watched My Hero Academia World Hero Missions. I loved it. If you like anime movies, watch them till your heart's content. It's really subjective. Scott will not.
No,
But-
Speaking of, I was giving him shit before the movie, and I was like naming other anime characters. Like, hey, when's One Punch Man come into this movie? He's like, it's a different anime, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, so when do they do that run where their arms go back and they're running really fast? He's like, that's Naruto. Not 10 minutes into the movie, someone does that run. I'm like, yeah! And he's like, I guess you were right.
No, I meant like, I guess.
I know what you meant. But I just think it's funny they did the exact run. I was like, that must be a Japanese people run.
he's like, no, Jordan, you don't understand. It's Naruto.
I am halfway through Young Guns, which I had never seen. Yeah, come at me. It's fine. Watch it later podcast.
How is it you're halfway through? That movie's like an hour and a half long.
Well,
We were trying to
when you
watch
have-
it last night.
When you have
and-
children
yeah,
just running
and he-
around like.
Ah!
Wait,
you
you
ever
guys
seen
have kids?
Big Daddy when he's like in the kangaroo costume and he's
All
hopping?
right.
Yeah, it's exactly how it is trying to watch a movie when those kids are
Yeah,
up.
so I am
Again,
gonna
it's
watch
why
it.
I watch my movies late, and it's why sometimes I can't get to everything
Yeah,
because I have to
yeah.
wait till
I
Leslie
wish
goes
I
to bed.
I wish I had more time just to watch movies. I figured, I'll have a bunch of kids and then I'll just watch movies. But it's like, no, they just scream in your face.
Yeah,
Daddy, pick me
movies,
up,
no.
Daddy.
I had
Daddy.
the opportunity. I did finish Saul. That's what I did this week. So there
Better
was
Call Saul.
one thing that I did finish, but no movies. But yeah, Better Call Saul. Awesome.
That's what I hear.
Great ending.
I haven't finished it up.
I
so.
mean, it's just such a compliment to Breaking Bad.
a lot of people are saying it's actually better than Breaking Bad as a series.
I don't know. I would say that it's very
Yeah, it's like he's the
complimentary.
fucking expert.
Yeah.
Well, he's watched it.
Yeah.
And he's watched
Yeah.
both. I would say
I've
he's
watched
got a
both of
good
them.
beat on whether or not one's
Breaking
better
Bad
than the other.
is
He's not the
phenomenal in its own right. Better Call Saul is a good complement to Breaking Bad. I think it's probably just as good as a series. Breaking Bad's better.
Yeah.
Better Call Saul kind of fills all the cracks. It's
That's
like
cool.
it's like the ice cream, it fills the gaps.
It does have a lot of gaps
Yeah,
to fill.
there's
I really
a
hate
lot.
it when Scott acts like he's the expert of anything.
Yep, I'm the expert. Listen to me.
He doesn't know anything about
So how many
nothing.
squats do you think I should be doing per set?
Yeah. Well, you want to stay at about 40 seconds in hypertrophy.
All right, because you go to the gym. I haven't heard you talk about it. He brings it up every day.
Let's talk anime more.
Oh,
Talk to your fucking nerd crew.
I mean, at least it's a fucking movie, and you do a movie podcast. Go
Hey.
watch a fucking movie.
I'm here for the comic relief and the technical
You're
aspect.
not funny. You're
I'm,
just
I'm
dumb.
fucking hilarious,
Okay.
I laugh.
and I'll be less funny when I start making bad fucking edits to your
You're not gonna-
channels.
Yeah, you're not going to do that.
It's
You're
funny
too
when
lazy
he starts
to do
making
that.
good edits to them.
I know. Yeah. Start doing good ones first, and then I'll be concerned.
I always love, I love the bit where you go, "Hey, make sure you put this into the show," and it
then he
never makes
does
it.
it. Never.
Like it's been, like literally, this is gonna go out Sunday. What's
Tomorrow.
today? The 20th. Okay, so we're 1 day shy. This is gonna be our 1 year anniversary show.
Yes.
This is 1 full year, and not once has Scott ever really put in any of the stuff that Aaron requests on
Not
air. And I
once.
love it.
Because I think it's funny.
I think it's great.
That-
Like it's a great bit.
That
Keep
to
it
me
going.
is probably one of the most humorous things that I
Yeah,
that
except
I've
a
done.
lot of the stuff that I asked for is off mic, so people don't know that you don't put it in. It just sounds like horrifically bad editing, which you're good at.
I was getting mad.
I'm not mad.
Hey, I could leave
Hey,
this
hey,
right
hey,
here.
hey, hey!
Go ahead.
Your energy level's here.
What
I'm
would
gonna
be
need it to
different?
about here.
I'm sure it'll take me 20 minutes to figure out how to use Audacity.
Okay,
Oh,
bet.
oh God, that's not.
I used to do
Guys,
it.
not this show.
I used to fucking do it.
We'll do it on the snack show.
Do what?
You edit.
One of these, I'm going to leave it to Aaron to edit one of these times.
It doesn't matter.
He's going
I'll
to call me 900 times.
No, I
Like,
won't.
hey, I need
I'll
this file.
figure it out.
Hey, how do I do this?
Sweet,
I'll
awesome.
figure it out.
Anyway, the other movie I watched, now that I think about it, was our movie for the week. So I was trying to think of what else I watched, and I knew it was like I'm missing something, and I was like, oh yeah, we watched
wanna
our movie for the week.
Introduce it.
Well, I didn't know if we were getting to that. If anything else, you're good. You watched all your anime movies and everything else. Scott doesn't watch anything for a movie show we do. Great. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, I have one requirement, is to watch the movie that we have to
That's
watch.
a good point.
But not do any edits.
We are, yeah. So my movie of the week was 1988's Dennis Hopper directed Colors.
Hey, blood.
The gangs rule the streets. The streets are at war. The war must be stopped.
We want a uniformed presence out in the street. They're flying their colors. We're flying ours.
If I do something, I expect you to back me up.
My partner, McGavin. New partner.
You get them off the street.
Lady, we're trying.
Our community have kids out there who are dying over colors. I mean, actually dying over red or blue.
How old are you? 18. How old are you?
14.
That's enough, McGavin.
You ever go out with a cop?
You don't like cops, do you?
No.
But you're just like them, Pac-Man. Nothing but a gangster.
There's always gonna be gangs, man. There's always gonna be fighting.
You can stop it for yourselves, man.
Sean Penn, Robert Duvall, in a Dennis Hopper film, Colors.
See, if you were a good producer, we wouldn't have to be quiet for 3 minutes in order for you to put the trailer in. But, yeah.
That's fine. I just put it right over you talking.
I don't care. Doesn't matter.
They're like,
you
why
should be able
is
to clip?
Why
you
is
should-
Colors
you should
trailer
be able
playing
to
over Aaron's fucking voice?
You
the
should
whole
be
movie?
able to move my
this
voice.
Blue's
and
Clues?
Put it in.
You can, but if you understand audio editing, you can't just do it in the middle of somebody's sentence and make it sound good. You have to have a pause there so that you can do seamless transitions.
Do you think that other podcasts pause?
They might.
Probably yes.
No.
You got to create a gap to cut.
Yes.
Anyway, 1988, Colors, starring Sean Penn and Robert Duvall, directed by Dennis Hopper. It was the first movie he's directed since Easy Rider, which was like 19 years prior. So, what a difference in the two movies. I don't know about. Okay, so this movie
Sean Penn was supposed to be played by Mickey Rourke.
Yeah, I could see that. Kind of an asshole.
The end.
That's it.
Jordan, you picked the most generic movie you could possibly find.
Well, see, here's the thing. When I was growing up, when this movie came out, it had more.
It was a big deal.
It was a big deal, and it is like the gritty side of gangs in L.A. and all this stuff. The
Yes.
problem with watching it now, I've seen things like Boys in the Hood, Menace to Society.
Correct.
Every other movie that does more to tell me about the gang life of L.A. than Colors.
It's exactly
the most
conversation
vanilla fucking
that Aaron and
gang
I had
movie I've
yesterday.
ever watched.
I mean, it was to a T. This is what we fucking talked about. I said same thing. Grew up with Boys in the Hood,
Yeah.
Menace to Society. I said the problem, and I've heard so much about this
is
movie.
why it doesn't get talked about. It has to be. Because
It's
there's better
on,
movies out
when you
there.
look up lists of gritty gang movies, this is on that list.
Yes.
Like, this is going to be something people point
Here's
to.
the biggest problem with this movie, though.
I've seen other movies.
At that time, yes. At that time, maybe, because this was like late 80s. You know, Boys in the Hood, Menace to Society was probably it was
90s.
early 90s.
Yeah.
But it was more real. This was very, and I hate to say this, it was like they took, because you got the Mexican gangs, you got the black gangs. They were like, hey, what is the most stereotypical way to portray the Mexican gangs? That's exactly how we're going to
Dennis
do
Hopper
it
was like, all right,
times
look,
10.
Look, Luis, look, I'm gonna direct you here. I'm gonna need you to say Holmes every 3 words.
Yeah.
And that's how we know you're the Mexican gang leader.
One
And
of
you're
the
gonna
letter,
Cool. All right, Holmes.
One
Okay,
of
Holmes.
the letterbox reviews is if you do a shot for every time someone says home in this movie, if you're still alive at the end of the movie, you win.
It's true. It's very true.
No, I called it from like the first scene where they're out on the beat and he lets the guy go high top.
Yeah.
And he's giving speeches to him and stuff, and Sean Penn's like, why are we arresting him? I was like, oh my God, Duvall's going to die at the end.
Yeah, and then he's gonna
And then
switch.
it's going to switch. I said, this is fucking every goddamn generic
Well,
cop
that's the
movie
thing, it is.
on the planet. And I'm not blaming you for that.
No, I know.
I was just like, this is the most predictable shit
I
ever
feel
seen.
like growing up, it seemed like one of those movies that was breaking ground, and it was such a big thing. And I remember people talked like, well, the soundtrack is controversial because of Ice-T's song
Ice-T, man.
and all this stuff. And I watch it now going, there's no action in this movie. There's a couple like little things here and there. There's maybe 2 drive-bys. I see more drive-bys in the movie Friday than I saw in this movie. Some of the acting
and the
is
first one is
over
horrific.
the top.
The first one where he like Don Cheadle's in his 5 seconds that he's in this movie is like the main bad guy.
It's like, who's Don Cheadle?
He comes by and he blasts that dude with a shotgun.
What's up, blood?
And it's the worst. Like the guy flops
You
like
see
a
the
dead fish.
squibs.
The chick screams and it like cuts to a weird.
almost orange
Yeah, it was
blood.
just
It was
a
almost
weird,
orange, yeah.
just a weird cut, man. And then they're in the fucking field and the guy's uncovered. He's laying there all bloody, and people are all around looking at this guy. And I'm like, did they not cover
him.
people up in the
Not
80s?
him. They didn't have enough towels. I don't know. But, I mean, it's not a terrible movie, but the problem is, like I said, when you go into it
so generic.
seeing other things, you can't help but make those comparisons. I even, to a point, watching things like Stand and Deliver gives me a better idea of how gang life worked. Things like Lean on Me, or all these other movies that came out around the same time.
Well, I know it was called Colors, but was it about gang life or was it?
It was supposed to be, but I thought it was
about
supposed to
cops because I felt like it was.
Well, that was the whole thing.
It was
their
more. I think it was
colors
more
and
about
their
the cops,
colors, and
but it was. They were there because of the gang wars and the turf wars and stuff. But it wasn't a prevalent. Like it wasn't an in your face thing.
My takeaway from it was like how the cops go about dealing with the inner city gangs by not trying to arrest every single one and mostly trying to police their community, which is kind of interesting, especially if you view it through like today's politics, I guess, when it comes to that stuff, because there's a lot of people who hate the cops now and all that stuff. And
fuck all of them.
Not getting into like that politically, but just saying like looking at back. That's how they did it back then, and maybe that's how they do it now. I don't know because I'm not a cop, but I just thought that whole aspect was interesting because it's like, we're not going to arrest you. We're going to treat you all with soft gloves because we want you to give us information later. And I know that still
was more
happens
positive to the cops.
Well,
this movie was way more positive to the cops than the other movies. You get Boys in the Hood where they're slamming them on the hood. Hey man, it's hot. I can't.
Well, even the black cop was racist.
Yeah, shut the fuck up, man. You know what I mean? They all these other movies portrayed cops as being terrible and being all they were was out to just get these guys. This movie, it was more like, hey, we want you to be a little sympathetic towards the police.
A bit, yeah.
I guess, but I thought it was more like Duvall was like the not buddy, but like he was the guy who was like, okay, I understand how to deal with this, and everybody else was like, nope, I'm going to shoot first and ask questions later.
Like he was even talking
today's cops.
Well, he was even talking like, look, I got out of this. I was supposed to go to juvie. I was supposed to pretty much end my career dealing with the easiest portion of this life, and I got put back into the crash unit, which is their anti-gang unit. And I get partnered with a hothead, fucking big-haired racist who I guess is supposed to be racist throughout the movie, but you don't really notice it until like maybe toward the end when he's
Sean Penn.
Yeah, like I don't hear him like saying slurs at people most of the time. He's just an asshole.
He was boning the Mexican chick.
Right,
with
but technically he's supposed to be racist. Yeah, Conchita Alonso. Or
I don't
whatever.
know. Anyone who's boning Mexican chicks is not racist in my book. I'm just
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, well, that's what see when you read the synopsis or read anything about this movie, he's supposed to portray like a hard-nosed racist cop.
I think he just didn't
And
have
he
any
just didn't do
tolerance.
it.
He didn't have any tolerance for the gang members.
Right,
Like,
that's
like
how
he was
I
just
felt.
like he was just like, listen,
let's arrest them all.
Yeah,
and ask
I'm not
going to
ask questions.
They're all
You're
assholes.
just done. Like,
There were
I'm done with you.
clearly racist in the film, like the guy who shot the dude reaching for his pants, and
I mean, to be fair, okay, I'm not
Why'd
defending.
You do it, man? Why'd you reach for it?
I don't. If I'm sitting there and I've got a gun on somebody and someone decides to eat me, like he's not saying I'm gonna grab my pants. This man went to the side of the bed, like he legit
Hanging off the bed.
Like fuck you, I'm going to shoot you.
yes, but the scene was portrayed as him being racist.
Well, I mean, he
and
did
shooting
shoot
him.
him like 30 times, but you know.
And like I agree with you, but you have 8 cops
not Point Break.
with guns trained on this dude. If he was gonna do anything, he knew he was gonna be killed. I don't know. It just
That man was high on PCB.
there was a lot of Well, that
Jive
you
turkey.
justify the shooting.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
He's coming right for
I'm
us.
not defending the cops, and I'm definitely not defending the gang members. I just thought a lot of it maybe it was poorly like executed.
I don't
or
feel
something.
like they
Sounds like that coming from
There was a
someone
lot
who's
of weird
racist.
plot threads. There was like a weird plot thread toward the middle and toward the end where they nicknamed Sean Penn's character Pac-Man because they're always driving around in this old beat up yellow car. He's a cop, so they always say Pac-Man this. We got to fuck with Pac-Man. At some point, yeah, and he's always popping pills, chasing ghosts. Why is he eating fruit? But at some point, they kind of put a gangland hit on him, and nothing ever happens with it. Because the next scene is they go after the Mexican gang because they think he snitched. They shoot up the house where the party is, and then the Mexicans go after John Cheadle's everybody, and then that's it. And then all of a sudden, Duvall's dead. Sorry, spoiler. And Sean Penn took over, but is the hit still out on it? Or the gang still want to get him?
Because Duvall's character was very much like, hey, we're going to work with all these guys, and they're going to tell us. But then that was the last of it. They get to the other moments of the movie, and like these guys are almost like they forgot that they were even working with him. They were just like, we're just gonna shoot at him. We're gonna run from him. We're gonna, it's like they were like, nope, like we're not working with him anymore. So it went from we're gonna work with you guys, hey, I'm gonna do this. You're gonna scratch my back. I'm gonna scratch your back type thing to, okay, yeah, we're not doing that anymore.
Man, fuck it, a pig is a pig, man. All right, Holmes.
What's funny is the scene in the church with the drive-by.
Yeah.
Oh.
They were going to cut that scene out of the film, but then a couple minutes after they filmed it and they were talking about cutting it out of the film, there was a drive-by at a real church.
Oh, my God.
So they kept it in.
I just love that, like, the pastor's like, we ain't fucking like gangs. We're going to be against the gangs. And then there's like a whole row of fucking bloods just sitting in. No, they're just sitting in there, like, listening to the whole thing. And they're like, yeah, it's about us. Who cares? Fuck you. What are you going to do? And then the Crips come up and shoot them. And, like, I feel like a movie about gangs
you know
really.
You know a lot about street gangs.
Blood and the Crips?
Yeah. Which one were you in? Aren't you from California?
Just the white kid that stayed away from the Bloods and the Crips.
Look at his ink.
I'm not gonna lie. Like I got beat up a number of times by some Mexican kids in California.
Why'd they have to be Mexican?
Because they were. Sorry, some may have been Guatemalan. I don't know. South American kids. No, they were Mexicans, and they beat my ass because I was a white kid, and my mom pulled me out and put me in a different school with a lot more white kids.
There was a white gang
where I was able to thrive.
He was he was redheaded like Scott.
Oh my God. Yeah, but he also talked like this, Holmes.
I know.
I'm like, you're the fucking kid from Children of the Corn. Knock it the fuck off, Malachi. This movie, like, it suffers from the fact that I've watched way too many other gang type movies that do it way better than this.
If this was the first one you've seen
ever,
then
maybe
you'd be like, oh man, this was
rough on the streets.
Yeah, this is rough, man. This is how it is.
Sipping my latte.
But yeah, when you've seen Boys in the Hood and you've seen all these other movies and you go back to this one, it almost makes this one just a complete farce.
It's vanilla. It's very it's not as hardcore as I had thought it was going to be.
A lot of eyebrow raising moments for me though. It was like, I mean, you got Damon Wayans who is like portraying
weird.
like a almost like he's like some 70s pimp or something, man. Like
always high on like heroin or something.
Yeah, the dialogue is just horrible. I mean, they're all portraying these characters. Every one of the black gang members dresses like Eazy-E. It's like when they're all lined up in the alleyway, it just looks like there's like 10 Eazy-E's lined up in the alleyway.
No. So there was a little one. So it was a lowercase E, and then
the lowercase E.
But it was
just so stereotypical, just very almost cringy.
A little bit.
Yeah, just almost cringy to a point where I was like, I
wouldn't go that far. I mean, you got to think of the time. I think the more we look back at these types of films, the more we're going to run into this type of stuff.
Yeah.
Unless it was like that groundbreaking film like Boys in the Hood or whatever, we're not going to find much substance in stuff like this because we're just going to continue to rehash. We'll be like, well, we've seen a bunch of better movies since then, so we're not going to connect with it the same way.
With Boys in the Hood, you can show that to somebody who's never seen that right now, and I think that movie, and I'm just going, I haven't seen it in a long time.
Yeah,
I think that movie would hold up.
Wow, thank you for proving my point that I literally just said.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm just reiterating the fact that if you showed this to somebody now who hasn't seen it, that would hold up versus this movie, which almost completely doesn't.
Yeah,
correct. Which is what I just said. Which is me saying, you watch these movies first, and then when you try to find something along those lines, it's just like the 90s when they made fucking Armageddon and Deep Impact. If we watched Armageddon, which I'm sure everyone at this table has seen, And then
You would be surprised, but we have to talk about movies that you haven't seen every now and then.
I
so
know,
just not throws me off.
and then you all seen Deep Impact?
Yes.
Okay. Or Volcano and
Yep.
Dante's Peak. It's the same thing. It's just that the time, like when Star Wars came out and then all the studios were like, oh, we got to start making movies like this. It's the same thing. Oh, Boys in the Hood came out, so we got to start making movies like this.
Well, for me, I think if you took Boys in the Hood and you showed it to someone now, I think it'd still hold up.
Oh,
No, I'm
yeah,
kidding.
that's exactly what he fucking said. Fucking said that.
I tried to get really far into that before you broke. Like, you immediately caught it, and you're like, what the fuck?
So
But no, I think a lot of my issues with this movie stem with the fact that, like I said, at the time when I was growing up, because you went with no file on this whatsoever, you've never heard of it, you've never seen it, so you go into it differently. For me and for Scott, we had heard about this growing up, and it was such a taboo movie as a small kid to ever watch. To watch it now and feel like that wasn't what I thought it was going to be kind of bums me out.
I think what's the most disappointing, in my opinion, is that it's directed by Dennis Hopper, which is supposed to be this like juggernaut of the 70s and 80s film world, whether it be acting or directing or whatever the fuck he's into before he becomes a drunken mess and hits rehab and becomes the dude from Speed.
Fuck, I love Speed.
I expected more out of him because all I've ever heard is what a fucking legend he is during this time, and this didn't do it for me.
In today, this doesn't get made because this gets questioned. Oh, you have a white man directing a movie about gangs? He knows nothing about that.
I mean,
nothing
you're not wrong.
about that.
You're not wrong, because like you said, every gang member,
you need to hire a black director
Ryan
or a
Coogler.
Hispanic director. Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you want to take this movie and compare it to another movie, this is Training Day, but vanilla. It was the vanilla Training Day. Training Day dealt with two cops, one maybe not so nice, but the roles are more reversed, where Ethan Hawke character is more the Robert Duvall. He wants to do good. He's trying to do his best. And then you've got, the Sean Penn, arrest everybody. What the fuck are we doing? I don't know how to play chess. I'm playing checkers kind of thing. And it's...
Remake Colors with Antoine Fuqua.
I like Antoine Fuqua.
No one said you didn't. I'm just saying. Remake it with him.
But you can you listen to Ice-T's song Colors, and the lyrics would portray something totally different than this movie portrays.
And it comes up like 3 times in the movie. Have you noticed
Yeah.
that? Did you hear it? Like,
Yeah.
it starts off and you're like, oh, that's Colors. And then it's on the radio again. I'm like, oh, wait, are they listening to Colors? Like, wait a minute. It's on the radio.
Yeah, it's more. I think it's a more gritty portrayal of like the actual street and the color wars and stuff than this movie actually was.
I feel like it was going to be a movie about the Bloods and the Crips and how they dealt with the Bloods and the Crips, and then all of a sudden it became more about the cops and how they dealt with the Mexican gangs in relation to the Bloods and the Crips.
Yeah.
And it was just like it was a dynamic there that I wasn't expecting, nor did I feel fit what my expectations were.
Because I was talking to Aaron yesterday and I said, "Oh yeah, the Hispanic gangs were like very, very overdone. Like they were way over the top." And
Oh
I
yeah,
said,
everyone had lowriders.
I go, "You want a better portrayal? Bound by Honor is just a better movie.
Blood in, Blood out.
Yeah, it's just
all those movies.
It's just a better movie. I mean, there's just so many better movies out there than this. And for the hype that this one gets, it felt a little flat.
Born in East L.A. No wait, that's
yeah,
not a gang movie.
Yeah.
I love that movie. So yeah, it's not a terrible movie, and that's what sucks about having to talk about it the way I am talking about it, because it is not a terrible movie. I actually really didn't like Sean Penn all that much. I know he's trying to be a character you don't like, but I don't know, something about his acting in this threw me off. Like, there was not a lot of good acting portrayals. It's either you were overly acting or you were Robert Duvall. You know what I mean? Like,
I thought all that stuff was fine. My issue was just how generic it was.
Well, and that's the other thing. It felt
it's
generic.
hard to rate a movie that's generic because it's not the movie's fault it's generic. It's the fact that it's 2022 and we're watching a movie from 1988. So
I would say even by 88 standards, though, like, this would be very generic.
I don't know, man. I don't know, because we don't get Boys in the Hood till 91.
I know.
So,
still.
But you're only talking a few years.
It's 4 years.
Yeah, it's like you're only talking a few years, and
but I'm
it's
saying
almost like
we have this first. So this is first,
Yeah.
and then we get Boys in the Hood, which is clearly a better movie, So I don't know if in '88 this would feel generic, or if it would be like, holy crap, did you see that? You know, it'd be a movie we went and saw at 9:05 at night with a bunch of other people.
I think I expected more from a movie from 1988, as where this felt more like a 70s movie, in a sense, with the acting and the way they portrayed everybody. It almost felt like late 70s.
All the cars.
Yeah, it was just, I don't know. It just seemed off. And like I said, you guys said this wasn't a bad movie. It wasn't a bad movie. I didn't hate watching this movie. It's just all the problems that I have with it now versus if I would have watched this when I was younger.
That's what we're watching now. We're gonna watch Blood.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
But yeah, so for me, it's middle ground. I'd say check it out, but it's not groundbreaking. It's just like you said, it's very average, very generic, very vanilla.
What'd you give it?
2.5.
2.5.
Yeah, it's middle ground. Like I didn't like Scott said. I didn't hate watching this movie. I
gave it a 2.
It's nothing great about it
because I'll never think about this movie again.
You didn't know about it to begin with.
Yeah, but I'm just saying.
You're like, I could purge this out of my brain.
Yeah, but I'll never. Somebody will ask me about it in 12 years, and I'll be like, oh yeah, I watched that once. It was okay. So yeah, 2 for me.
Yeah, I'm probably right in the middle. I'm saying with Jordan, probably about a 2.5.
You
I mean, again, this is one of those. If somebody's like, "Hey, I need to watch a gangster movie, man. I need to watch a movie about gangs in East, in L.A. and stuff," I'd be like, "Okay, Boys in the Hood. That's what you watch. You know, you're not going to go to this first. You know, people that have seen it probably like it. That saw it for the time. It was middle ground. You know, that's all I could say about it."
Agreed.
Yeah, I know. Scott, I do not have a single thought. Everything has to copy everyone else.
Well, what more can you say?
Well, you can tell us what movie you're picking for next week.
Well, moving to that.
5 stars already.
So this is a movie that was what I typically do is I look at a lot of stuff on my phone and I just screenshot shit. And then when I think about it and I actually get around to remembering it, I'll ask these guys, hey, have you seen this? Have you seen this? So this is a movie that's been sitting in my phone for a while, and I kind of forgot about it. And surprisingly enough, it gets talked about a lot, apparently, from people that Aaron listens to. A movie from 1982. It's described as a sex comedy. It's
Sex Drive.
Yes.
Oh, I love that movie.
Starring Michael Keaton and Henry Winkler is Night Shift.
Watch it.
Chuck Lumley works nights. He's a civil servant. And so is Bill. Chuck and Bill have a very strange partnership. They also have a happy staff. Their business is growing. Their customers have no complaints. And the future looks good. However, Chuck is a little too serious about his work. So, Bill is teaching him to take things easier. After all, night work can be fun. You just have to know where to look for it. Night Shift. It makes the day seem dead by comparison.
What's funny is I've heard this trailer about 800 times that I know you're going to put in here, but it's all good. Yeah,
I swerve. I thought you were doing the other movie. I'm sitting there going, wait a minute, 82? I thought the other movie came out. No. You turned on me.
I think.
Full of surprises.
I think, Scott, going with a comedy is very dangerous. We do not have very good luck with comedies. So
I was going to say the only comedy that I
what
think we
gets-
really all highly talked about was an old one that I picked from like the 30s and 40s.
So I am excited. This is talked about on Pure Cinema constantly. Is one of Brian Sauer's favorite films from Just the Discs and Pure Cinema and stuff like that. So I am excited about this. I bought the Scream Factory edition just because he talked about it. Never got around to watching it, so I'm excited. I'm excited to talk about it. Also, I've heard that this is like Michael Keaton, peak Keaton before Batman. This is leading up to Batman and all the stuff that probably got him Batman. And I love old Keaton, so it's like this and two other films where he plays like a hockey player or something, and then we get Batman.
We also had Mr. Mom. We had all this stuff before Batman, and I think that was the biggest. I mean, not to go off on too much of a tangent, it's the reason why people were actually mad at the casting of him for Batman, because they knew him as a comedic actor. He was doing Gung Ho. He was doing Mr. Mom. He was in this. Like, Keaton was known for doing more lighthearted things, and for him to portray Batman and Bruce Wayne, people were like up in arms about it. And now it's the best Batman in history.
No, it isn't.
Shut your fucking mouth.
It's not even. It's not even close.
It's the top one Batman, Michael Keaton.
Disagree.
But yeah, it stars Henry Winkler. Because, like, that's the thing. Like, I forgot that he was in this, not Winkler, but Michael Keaton, because Henry Winkler is, like, I think the poster guy. The guy who's, you know.
I mean, probably most famous from, like, The Waterboy.
Yes, that's right. That's right. No
Not
other
Happy Days.
things.
Not Happy Days.
Not at all.
You know?
I mean, there's a literal term referencing him from Happy Days
So you-
to describe this podcast
just
called
not
Jumping
those,
the Shark.
Yeah, not those two, but I mean, it's got Shelley Long. She was huge
Shelley
at that
Long.
time. Kevin Costner is listed in this.
Really?
Clint Howard is in this.
Was this a Ron Howard production? Because that's how Clint gets into anything.
Yeah. No, it's
Unless you're Ice Cream Man, then Clint Howard is going to be.
It is Ron Howard. It's directed by Ron
it is
Howard.
Ron Howard, yeah.
Fucking told you. I
He's
knew
like,
it.
he's like, hey, bro,
Like
I got a part for you.
I think Clint showed up in like The Wraith and like a horror movie called like Ice Cream Man, and those are the only two non-Ron Howard properties Clint Howard shows up in.
So you're going to hear the trailer, but it's not really going to tell you what this is about. But it's mostly like Michael Keaton starts like a prostitution business out of a morgue, and it's like I said, I'm excited because I like this era of Keaton.
I like this era of comedies. I think the 80s had some of the best comedies to come out.
What the fuck would you know? So
I was alive.
Yeah.
barely.
I watched a lot of late night HBO Showtime cinema.
It was a different comedy than it is now.
yeah.
I mean, you got the slapstick. You got it was like you had police academies and
That,
you know,
roughly. Yeah, see, that's
John
my-
Candy at his peaks. Yeah, I mean, it's just so many good comedies that came out of like.
And
the
I said it
80s.
was a Warner archive, or I'm sorry, it is a Warner archive, not a Shout Factory. I don't know why I said that. So, just
Finally.
I know. I just wanted. I
Gotta
like
get that retraction
if
in,
I'm
otherwise
wrong-
somebody will write in for the first time and tell you did
You know
something
what?
wrong.
Fuck off.
Have you checked the email? Did anybody write in?
I don't know. The email I set up a year ago doesn't get used. He put out a new one, and I don't get to check it.
I
so
haven't. Well, I don't get to check Facebook or the Instagram. So
that's for a reason. We don't want our Facebook banned.
Check
I don't need you yelling at some 12-year-old with a
I
bad
should
movie
get on-
take from our
I'll
Facebook.
check it after
You
we
should pull
get
the
off.
email and check it.
Well, I have to.
Oh, did you write in?
yeah. I don't need
Well,
emails from you, dude.
Apparently, anybody that writes
Scott's
in,
fucking
it's not going to
hilarious.
get checked.
Yeah, who would know?
All right.
See, I
So
put a
we-
test out.
We so we got Scott's movie and we got the snack show,
I'm
which
excited
we're,
for that
we're
one.
coming hard.
Again, and it never stops. Like
It never
I always
stops.
and it's funny because there's still stuff I want to go look for.
Yeah, me too.
I on the way home, I'm gonna hit up probably 3 different Walgreens just to find those stupid fucking.
Chips.
No, not the chip. Which chips?
The chips are supposed to be heavily at Walgreens.
The Halloween
ones?
mix.
No. Chili cheese.
I saw them.
You did?
Yeah,
You didn't pick them up?
not for $5 a bag. I'm not gonna.
Jesus Christ, just get them and I'll fucking pay for them.
No, it's fine.
cry.
Great provider. No, I saw them last night at the Walgreens by my house, so I know they're out. And I saw the Doritos ones, not the Doritos.
I don't care
Yeah,
about
there's
any
the
of those.
so they had the chili cheese. They had
Chili cheese is the new one.
Cool Ranch, and I believe I saw the Funyuns.
Oh, yeah, I need the Funyun ones.
Okay, if I find them again, I'll grab them. I'm looking for those tailgate.
Oh,
jelly
yeah,
beans or
gross.
whatever those are.
And then I think Sam's Club has the cranberry s'mores mix, but I cannot find the Ritz s'mores. So I don't know if that's
may
just
not
like
have
an
hit
online
shelves
thing.
yet.
Dude, I found motherfucking ketchup and spicy mustard chips.
Hey, why don't you just tell everybody what we got?
Okay.
Go ahead.
Smart food popcorn.
Yeah, we got
Red
that.
hot.
He's
Pop
looking
chips,
at it right
chili
now.
and cheese. Cherry Sour Patch Kids. Trix popcorn. Dude, it's going
I'm
to be
actually looking
crazy.
forward to the cherry
Yeah,
Sour
it doesn't
Patch.
need to be a surprise. Just be excited.
Yeah, we got a
2
lot.
weeks from now.
We're gonna.
We got Warhead soda. We got Dream World soda. It's gonna be. We got strawberry hot
I was
sauce.
gonna say. I think we need to at some point do another seltzer.
I haven't
show
heard of
just
any
for
strawberry
funsies.
hot sauce. Where is that from?
Dance Gavin Dance. bro.
Oh, is
never,
that a band?
Never heard of them.
Yes. Okay. So
You have no idea how
That
much I
was our-
refrained from commenting on the picture he posted.
yeah,
this
I know
morning.
you did.
I'm like, you know what? I want to be a good friend and just not say anything.
Yeah, I've tried to get Aaron to like follow that mantra for the rest of his life, and
No,
I'm like,
it doesn't work for
I go,
me.
when you want to say something, man.
No,
just
no, no.
Don't say it.
You just need somebody to jump in there and take his phone and give the idiot a ticket so he doesn't yell at the board ticket taker. You need
All
that
right,
buffer.
guys. So that was Colors, and next week we will be watching Night Shift After Hours.
I don't think we haven't seen After Hours, have we?
Night Shift. We did watch After
I was
Hours.
gonna say,
I know.
Fucking Jordan was like, "It's bad. It's a good movie, but
didn't
it's
like
bad. I hate Red Dawn. I'm terrible
Red Dawn's
with movies.
terrible.
You're terrible, dude. The Joker's a bad movie.
It
I
is a
hate-
bad movie.
I hate masterpieces.
You know what the Joker is? Taxi Driver, but worse.
Joker.
Taxi Driver is a classic and
Joker's fine.
great. The Joker is bad.
No, it
The
isn't.
sequel is going to be horrible. Fuck you, Lady Gaga. If you're listening,
you,
you're
Jordan.
not. Fuck you.
You're wrong.
You're a terrible actress.
Is
Your
Lady
music
Gaga gonna be
sucks.
in it?
Yes, she's
What?
going to be
Where the fuck have
Harley.
you been?
He doesn't go to the internet.
Yeah.
Is it on a baseball mitt website? You're not going to see it. He's like, yep. No, she's going to be Harley Quinn to his Joker in the fucking
lame.
70s or 80s. Oh, and by the way, it's a musical.
I can't wait. It's gonna be
So
good.
this is just gonna be like her and fucking what's his name there, and that
Joaquin Phoenix.
no the what movie is she in?
Bradley Cooper.
Bradley Cooper. Yeah.
Yeah, just paint their faces. It's so stupid.
Yeah.
I hate it all.
All right, so Jordan hates good movies. We will see you guys next
I'm
week.
sorry, I like
So
quality.
I mean, you don't, because Red Dawn is a masterpiece. Okay.
It's all right.
Tune in next week for our Red Dawn argument
You
podcast.
guys, after this, you guys can hug and watch anime together,
That's
true.
I'm Aaron.
I'm Jordan.
and not anime Scott.
What does that even mean?
Okay. This is I'll Watch It Later podcast. Big gulps, huh? Well, see you later.
Kamehameha.